good morning and welcome back or welcome to Morning Ray. I'm your host Lan or Alana, and today's episode was a requested ep from one of you guys. If you do not know, on my main Instagram at Alana Bloomberg, I have a broadcast channel called Hot Girl Community, and usually if I'm in a rut or curious to hear what you guys want to hear on the pod, in my content, whatever it is, I go to there first. So a few of you hearted this request of a weekly routine breakdown. Everything that I do, from my workouts to housekeeping to self-care items and all of that. And I'm going to take it one step further and also do things that I do on more of a monthly or just a routine basis, as well as including my current and most updated morning routine in detail. So I think it's going to be a good one. When you are listening to this, Hot Girl Sweat times Jaybird Reformer would have happened yesterday. I'm super excited about this event. I feel like I have a lot of really cool and fun sponsors, new sponsors, and I'm excited to be hosting a more intimate event. And I'm excited to hear your guys' feedback if you're attending on this event. It's also my Halloween weekend. I was supposed to go out last night. It's November 1st when I'm recording this, and I decided that I was retired and did not want to go out. I was supposed to have a bit of a bender this weekend and opted to not do that. I also did not go out for Halloween last weekend. I guess you could say I'm a grandma now, but I'm going out tonight. I have a house party every single year. A bunch of my friends that live together host a themed Halloween party, so I'm super excited for that. It's always so much fun. I think house parties are definitely the move on Halloween. They're always the most fun and just preferred by me and most of my friends. So I'm super excited for that and looking forward to that. Today is also the start of the Sephora sale. I went ahead and made a little collection on my Shop My, which is always linked in the show notes, but I put together all my Sephora picks. It's a combination of items that are my holy grails lately and also items that I've been eyeing and that I would love to purchase during the Sephora sale. If you do not know, you can get up to 20% off during the Sephora sale. This isn't sponsored at all. Like, no one is paying me to say this. I just love taking advantage of a sale, and I've been waiting to purchase products that I've been wanting and needing until the sale. So if you sign up for VIB with Sephora, depending on the tiers, you get more discounts or not. If you're VIB Rouge like myself, which, like, God knows how am I VIB Rouge? That means I have to spend $1,000 at Sephora, which is quite absurd, but I do buy a lot of gifts for friends from Sephora, like candles and perfumes and whatnot. Me trying to justify spending way too much money at Sephora when I already am gifted with PR far too often, but very grateful. Nonetheless, it goes until November 11th, so definitely go check that out. I'll have that linked in the show notes. And on to my current faves. Oh, before we get into the current faves, I forgot to write this in my little life updates. I'm realizing that I'm leaving for London so freaking soon. This trip has come up so quickly, and I have not planned a single thing. This is the most untype A thing that I have ever done. I have my flights booked for London to South Africa to London back to Toronto. I have my hotels booked. I don't know if 100% I'm going to be staying at the hotels the whole time because my family friend does live there, and I might stay with her to spend more time with her and to also save money because London hotels are expensive. If you think New York hotels are expensive, try adding the 1.8 times conversion from the Canadian dollar to the British pound. It is not fun, especially as a single girl in her 20s traveling by herself. But nonetheless, we gotta get planning. I'm starting to get excited. Definitely like a different feeling going into this solo travel trip because it's definitely, I've done it. I've been there before. It's happened recently, and I'm just like excited to get to experience that again and see how this time is different. I also have heard that London is beautiful during the holiday season, so I feel so spoiled being there during the holidays or just before the holidays, and then also getting to be in the warm South African sun and meet my whole extended family that I haven't had the opportunity to meet yet. And this will be my third time going to Johannesburg. However, I haven't been there since I was 12, so over a decade ago, and I'm really excited to go back and be with family and also spend some quality time with my dad who's going with me. So I'm super excited for this trip. I really feel like I set the intention of traveling outside of North America this year, and I really have prioritized that and have succeeded in that. That goes to show that your New Year's resolutions, the goals you set for yourself, are not just things that you write on a piece of paper or in your notes app or put in your vision board. They really can come and manifest into reality if you put in the work and take the necessary steps in order to get there. So I'm super proud of myself myself for stepping out of my comfort zone this year and traveling to places that I haven't been and traveling alone and just putting my money into things that are valuable to me. And that's what makes, to me, spending money on things that are valuable to you and that you appreciate is what will make you feel rich. Okay, on to my current faves. I am obsessed with my dark brown nails, you guys. I got 2 coats of OPI Brown to Earth. I've gotten so many compliments on my nails. Also, Jana at 6 Cents just popped the fuck off with my nails. It literally looks like I got a Russian manicure, the way that she painted them and cleaned up my cuticles and everything. Quite insane, but just a regular biogel manicure. But I'm obsessed with the dark brown nails. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel because I used to do dark colors when I had short nails like a million years ago, and since then I've only ever done really light pink nails because I just got icked out by all the colors and felt like it didn't look good on my hands. But I'm absolutely obsessed, and I think before I go to London I'm gonna get this color again, but don't hold me to it. I'm also currently in another one of my current faves. I probably should start filming video for this podcast because my manager keeps telling me to and everyone keeps telling me to, but I just love yapping into your ears and it just being an audio content form. But nonetheless, I'm currently in my Dairy Boy sweat set. I caved and bought, what does she call it? It's the dark camo that just dropped. Dairy Boy, I think it's in River Camo collection. I got the hoodie with just the plain River Camo hoodie in a size large, and then I got the River Camo sweatpants in a medium, and they are so comfy. It is like the same French terry that Elwood uses for their sweats, similar fit, and I absolutely love it. I kind of hate to say that I really do love it. I feel like I was so resistant to buying anything from Dairy Boy for so long because I read a lot of like mixed reviews on the quality and everything, but no, Paige is killing it right now. Dairy Boy's stuff is honestly pretty great. I boxed last week for the first time in a while, in a hot sec, and I forgot how much I loved it, so I'll be doing that again, and that is a current fave. I got to try out the Necessaire Eucalyptus body lotion. The body lotions from them used to only be unscented, and they came out with the lotions in the sense that their body washes come in, and it smells so freaking good. I feel like I'm in a freaking spa, and I love putting it on before bed after I shower. It smells so good. You feel so clean and smell so clean, and obviously it's super hydrating. And then my last current fave, which is right next to me, I recently got this. It's the Tower 28 Lip Softy Tinted Lip Treatment in Dolce de Leche. The applicator is definitely interesting. It's not like Rhode, it's not like Summer Fridays. It's like this round applicator. I don't know how else to explain it. It's almost, I think Carmex lip balms have this applicator, but I really love how this product feels on my lips. I love how it looks. It has a slight tint to it, and it tastes really good. Okay, let's get into the bulk of the episode because I'm sure you guys just want to know what I do. And I don't know, I always love hearing what other people do and what their routines are and everything. Just know that like I'm not super rigid with my routines. I used to be. I have become very flexible with my routines and things change week to week. This is what I've been doing right now, more or less. It definitely changes a bit, but let's start off with the workouts. I always love booking my workouts like the week or the weekend ahead. You guys know this. I talk about this. I give this to you guys as a tip to make sure that you are consistent with working out. I always love to like book my workouts advanced. So like I think yesterday or today I booked my Pilates classes for next week. I just like to know, and then I put them in my Google Calendar, and that way like I can know what my week is going to look like. Everything is planned and scheduled out for me. I don't have to think too hard about it. Not every single week is exactly the same. Sometimes things happen on different days. Sometimes I do more of one type of class. Sometimes I do less. Sometimes I don't do any of something, but I usually try to do the following. I do at least one reformer class. I normally go on Wednesdays. That's just the instructor that I like. Sometimes I do 2 reformer classes. This week I'm doing 3. It just happens to be that way. Then I also like to do at least 1 or maybe 2 heated mat Pilates classes this week. I'm literally doing none. But like last week, I did 1, or I did 2. I think I did 2 last week. I love Jaybird, the burn. I love the build. I love the bird. They all sound the same, but they're different. I also like Solace. Solace Sculpt is the class that I like for their heated mat classes. And then I'll typically like to do at least like one sort of like higher intensity workout. So whether it be a HIIT class or boxing or going to Barry's or doing a run club. I was really into going to a different run club every week to just do like a 5K and stay on top of my running. For a bit, I slacked this past week. Did I run last week? No, I just boxed. But I will be running this week at Emily's run club, which will have already happened for you guys. But I like to do at least like a reformer class, a mat class, and then some sort of HIIT, running, etc. The studios I personally love in Toronto are as follows. Jaybird has my heart. It's at the top of my list. You guys probably called it, but I love Jaybird. I go to their Queen and Yorkville locations. Solace just opened up a location on King West. That's also where I did my Pilates cert. I tried the reformer yesterday and I really, really liked it. I went to Shira's class. She's awesome. I also like taking her classes at Jaybird. Solace Sculpt is I feel like my list of things to buy, to do, activities that involve spending money is never ending around the holidays, making the idea of investing and saving and thinking about your future to be a little bit more challenging, a little bit more overwhelming. Acorns makes it easy to start automatically saving and investing for you, your kids, and your retirement, even during the holidays. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you. You don't need a ton of time. You can create your Acorns account and start automatically investing your money in just 5 minutes. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now. That could be $5 a day or even just your spare change. That's right. Acorns can round every purchase you make up to the dollar and automatically invest your spare change for you. And you can get bonus investments just for buying the stuff you need from the brands you love. I personally love Acorns. It's simplified the investment process, which can be overwhelming and intimidating, but it just makes it so simple, so easy, and something more accessible no matter how much money you have to invest. Head to acorns.com/Alana or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Paid non-client endorsement compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/Alana. I'm super excited about today's sponsor. They've sponsored the podcast before, and this is a topic I'm super passionate about. I fear that us as girls struggle with PMS far more than we should, and we really shouldn't. I truly get the worst PMS symptoms. My boobs are sensitive, my face breaks out, my sugar controllings are out of whack. I feel like I'm just a bottomless pit. My mood is not the vibe, and Estro Control has been super helpful in helping manage those PMS symptoms and making that time of the month a lot more enjoyable. Estro Control is a formula developed by Happy Mammoth, a supplement company dedicated to making women's lives easier. Say no more. Estro Control contains science-backed herbal extracts that help support hormonal health, especially if you are someone like myself who struggles with PMS. It was created to help women feel like themselves all month long and to not struggle with the feelings PMS can cause. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code Alana at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code Alana for 15% off today. Is the mat class that I really like there. I find the other ones too high intensity for me, and I prefer more low impact exercise. For boxing, I've been going to Studio KO and I train with Adam. I'm really not a Legree girly, but a new Legree studio opened near me that I've really been liking, and it's Legree Plus. The prices I feel like are pretty reasonable compared to other reformer Legree studios in the area and in like just the downtown core. I also like that it's a smaller class size. I like that we move slowly. I find Studio Legree, at least the instructors that I have taken, we move way too fast. The machine is set way too heavy and I just feel like I'm going to injure myself. But I really like how Legree Plus is slow. I'm also relearning Legree names. They call all the moves different than the traditional reformer class because it is its own method. To summarize, studios I really like in Toronto are Jaybird, Solace, Studio KO, and Legree Plus. Sometimes I still go to Sweat and Tonic. To be honest, it's not my favorite. I'll go every now and again. I used to really love it, but it's not my favorite currently. That could change. You guys know I go through my phases. I am always changing. I like to always do different things. I get bored if I'm constantly doing the one thing, but Jaybird is the one consistent thing that I've been doing. I've been going to Jaybird now for probably 3 years, or 4 years, however long it's been open, 3 years, but I've been really consistent with it and haven't fallen off of it for a year now, which I think is pretty incredible, because before I feel like I went through phases where I would go a lot and then I wouldn't go at all. Household chores. Every single morning I make my bed. 1, clear space equals a clear mind. 2, you're starting your day off with an accomplishment. And 3, it just makes getting back into bed later so much nicer, and also your space just looks better. Every week I wash my towels, my bedding, and my clothes. With clothes, I try to separate the lights and darks when I remember, to be honest. I go through phases where I'm really adamant about it, and then I go through phases where I don't care and I'm like, whatever, it's fine. But I always wash my towels once a week. I have 2 different sets of bedding, so I'll switch that out. That way I don't have to wait for the sheets to dry in order for me to make my bed again, because I used to do that and that was so annoying, and getting a second set of sheets has been the game changer. It truly has made my life so much easier, and I dread changing my bed linen less. I still dread it. It's definitely the most annoying thing to do. It definitely is a thing that I dread the most. I don't know. But then I love getting into a bed with fresh sheets. It's truly no unmatched feeling. I also have to have clean hair. My hair has to be freshly washed when I have clean sheets for the first time. I don't know if that's an OCD thing. I don't want to get into bed with dirty hair. My hair cannot be with slick back stuff in it. It can't be super greasy, because then that defeats the whole purpose of having just put clean sheets on. Please tell me I'm not alone in this. Bi-weekly, I have someone come and clean my apartment, which is something I decided to do after years of deep cleaning every week by myself. I can finally afford it, and honestly, it is truly the best gift I have given to myself. It feels so nice to have a clean apartment and have someone else have cleaned it. I still do clean quite regularly in my apartment, so after I cook or do anything in the kitchen, I always wipe down the counter with Lysol and a microfiber cloth. I'll vacuum, especially after hair wash day when I style my hair falls a lot, so vacuum my hair off the bathroom floor and the rest of the apartment. I'll usually spend 5 to 10 minutes cleaning and tidying up every night before bed or before I leave for the night. If I'm going for dinner, drinks, etc., I love just coming home to a clean home, an organized home, everything just tidy in its spot. There's truly no better feeling. It is the worst thing to walk into your apartment and it be absolute chaos in there, especially as someone who is so type A, so OCD when it comes to their space and everything. I just need everything to be in its home. Even right now, I have the case for all my podcast equipment out, and I have to encourage myself not to look at it because it does bother me. Everything just has to be neat and tidy in its place, even for me to do work. But just cleaning up before bed every night just is the best feeling, because then you can wake up and walk out into your space and it's all clean and neat and everything it's in its home. And I really do think clear space equals a clear mind. Your space is your home, it's your environment, it's your sanctuary. You want it to feel clear and light and homey. And if there's clutter and mess and chaos all over, I feel that ruins it. So I always just spend 5 to 10 minutes every single day, because if you just keep pushing it off, it's gonna build up, it's gonna get worse. And by always just wiping everything down after cooking and everything, or wiping down the bathroom counters when I notice they start to get messy, it just keeps your overall state of your home in a better environment. And then once a week you can do that deep thorough clean where you mop the floors and vacuum, and you remove everything off the counter and wipe it down, you clean the shower, etc. If you don't have a cleaner, doing a deep clean once a week, once every other week is super important in keeping up the maintenance of your space and just also keeping everything clean, tidy, and hygienic. I wash the dishes overnight most nights, so I'll run the dishwasher before I go to bed or after dinner when it's full. If it's not full, sometimes it's every other day, and then in the morning I always unpack it right after I make my coffee, just so that it's done and then things don't pile up in the sink, because it's the worst when your sink is full of dirty dishes. My house was never the house where we had like a sink full of dishes. My mom could never allow that. Everything just like when you are done with something, it goes in the dishwasher. And if you don't have that habit, I highly encourage you to start doing it. Just rinse off your dishes, rinse the sink off every single time you do something in there just so that there's no food or crap sitting in it, and then put it in the dishwasher and then run your dishwasher. And then in the morning, empty it. I make my coffee and then I empty my dishwasher, or sometimes I'll make myself empty it first and then my coffee is my reward. But just like run it overnight. One, it's also cheaper on your hydro bill, but then two, in the morning, just get it done with. It doesn't take that long and you'll thank yourself later. I was in such a bad habit of ordering so much takeout and not getting groceries and not making meals at home that earlier this summer I decided to get HelloFresh, and then later on I also added in Factor for my meals throughout the week. So I get the 2-person 3 meals from HelloFresh, and then I get 6 meals from Factor. Factor is just like the microwavable health conscious meals. They're honestly really good. My HelloFresh gets delivered on Sundays and then Factor on Monday. I always unpack and deal with the boxes from the HelloFresh and from Factor right away. I also make sure when I'm doing this to get rid of any spoiled food in my fridge, get rid of anything that's maybe expired, wipe down my fridge, and just keep my fridge nice and tidy. I think the fridge is often something we forget to clean and keep hygienic, but it's so important because our food that we are eating lives in there. I'll also at this point like refill my Brita. I have a Brita water filter in the fridge, so I'll make sure to fill that up. But that's kind of like my food ordeal. And then whenever I'm like running low on milk or any other things, I'll order that usually through DoorDash because they have some sort of deals, and I find groceries tend to be cheaper off of there, at least in my area. Vitamins. I have a vitamin organizer. It's just like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever organizer. And I realized that when I was away in London this summer, I was so much more consistent with taking all my vitamins and supplements when they were in this little organizer for myself. So now I've taken that practice and I use it at home, and I refill my organizer each week. Once I've used the last day, I just do it right then and there so I don't forget about it, because if I don't refill this thing, I'm not consistent with taking my vitamins, and I notice a difference when I'm not, especially going into the winter months. Living in Canada, vitamin D is so important. So I always take my vitamins in the morning. I'll explain this just shortly in my morning routine, but if you find that you are inconsistent with taking any vitamins, medication, supplements, whatever it is, definitely get a little organizer. Mine is literally from Amazon. It's nothing fancy, and I have 2 of them. So when I travel for longer periods of time, I can fill up 2 different things and have enough for 2 weeks. I'll probably have to get a bigger one when I go to London and South Africa because I'm away for 3 weeks. I couldn't tell you the last time. Yeah, I could. The last time I traveled for longer than 2 weeks was when I was in grade 10 and I went to Israel for the month. But since then, I have really only traveled for 8-day periods at a time. Obviously, in the summer when I was in London and Italy, that was like my longest trip to date. And now this is even longer. I think I'm gonna have to get friends to come and water my plants. I don't want them to die. Okay, let's get into the morning routine. I always post clips of this on socials, but obviously I don't really dive into the nitty-gritty of my morning routine on there. I usually wake up between 7 to 7:30. Sometimes it's a bit earlier if I have an 8 a.m. Pilates class, like an early class, and I have to get ready and get going. Sometimes I sleep until 8, but I really try to wake up by 7:30. Obviously, this doesn't really include weekends. I make my bed right away. I brush my teeth. I then go and make my coffee because I like to have my coffee with me while I'm doing my skincare and whatnot. I'll then take my vitamins, check emails sometimes. Sometimes I don't do this at this point. Sometimes I like to try and wait. And then I'll do my skincare, my makeup, and my hair. Usually while I'm getting ready, I'm either FaceTiming a friend or I'm listening to a podcast. The podcast is usually either What We Said, Mel Robbins, or Note to Self. Or now I started listening to Three-Way Pod, which is Peyton, who hosts Note to Self, and like 2 of her girlfriends. I started binging that today. But I like to listen to a podcast while I get ready. Then I get dressed. I'll typically go to a workout class if I'm working out that day. Come home, I have breakfast at home. I'll probably then shower, get properly ready, and then usually sit down and get to work. But that's my morning routine. Usually I like to book morning workout classes anywhere between 7:30, 8, 10:30 is a little too late for me, although I did do that the other day, but I prefer like an 8 a.m. around workout class. Self-care things I do. These are self-care things that I do on a weekly basis. Some are a bit more like they're not weekly, but they're things that I do consistently that I think have contributed to me feeling better mentally, physically, emotionally, all around. I really love going to a sauna and cold plunge place. I don't do this every week. Sometimes it's bi-weekly, but I really do try to go once a week. It's really therapeutic for me. I think it helps with recovery and all of my workouts. It's also a social activity. I love going with a friend or friends. I personally love going to Arc, Othership, and Trove in Toronto. Trove is more of a solo journey place, so if I just want to do something quick by myself, I'll go to Trove, and if I don't want to be disturbed by other humans, I'll go there. But if I'm going with friends or I want something a bit more social, then I'll go to Arc and Othership. I just love sitting in the sauna. I love sitting in the cold plunge, and it's just a really nice feeling. I prefer to do this at night, usually as like an end cap of the week, so like Sunday night I would do that. Walks. I like walking to and from things whenever I can. Sometimes I work out in Yorkville in Toronto, and that's like an hour walk from home, so I'll usually like transit there or Uber there and then walk home, and it's just a really nice feeling. I like walk really pretty much everywhere. If I can walk somewhere, I will, over taking the TTC or which is our subway or the streetcar or like an Uber. I would rather walk, especially now as we're starting to get into colder months. I'm really trying to take advantage of walking to places whenever I can. Walking just like clears your mind, and obviously it's really good for your physical well-being as well. I, as you guys know, am a huge advocate for therapy. I go to therapy once a month or every 5 weeks. I do cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm actually coming up on my 4-year anniversary of therapy this month, or maybe it was last month. I don't know. I started in 2020, so it's 4 years, and truly the best decision I've ever made. I do a 1-hour session once every 4 to 5 weeks, and it truly just keeps everything in check. Even if I feel like I'm doing okay, I just know that I have a habit of just throwing things underneath the rug and ignoring them and letting them pile up. That used to result in a lot of breakdowns when I was younger, and I was tired of that, which is why I started going to therapy. But truly such an amazing thing. It has helped so much with my self-esteem, my self-confidence, the way that I speak to myself, the way that I view things, my relationships with not only myself, but also family relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, business, professional relationships. We talk a lot in therapy about like my self-esteem and dating and things surrounding that. It truly has done wonders. I have always been someone that has been outwardly confident, but I've learned in therapy that my self-esteem was quite much lower than that. It was often this ongoing paradox and struggle that I had. And going to therapy has honestly helped me so much in knowing how to set boundaries, how to communicate, how to like stand up for myself, how to determine my wants and needs, finding the root causes for traumas and triggers and whatnot, and learning how to have the toolkit to deal and navigate those things on my own. Really big advocate for therapy. If you guys ever have any questions or curiosities about it, my DMs are always open, as you guys know. Supplements. I don't really love talking about which supplements I'm taking and whatnot too much. I will do it for the sake of this episode, but obviously I want to give the disclaimer, always talk to your doctor to get blood work, figure out what you are low on before you start taking something, because sometimes supplements can do more harm than good. But these are the things that I take pretty much every single day. If I don't take them every single day, I take them whenever I need, and I'll clarify with that. But I always take a probiotic. I was using Ritual. I've also have used Seed before. I'm currently trying out the new Array Tribiotic. I have only taken it for 2 days, so I'll report back if I like it more or less or equal to the Ritual one. I think there's a lot of really interesting things in the Array one. I'll link it below. I also have a discount code for Array if you're curious in trying anything. I think it gives you 15% off, but all my discounts are in my link in bio on my Instagram, but I'll link the Array one in the description. But I always start with a probiotic. I always take vitamin D3, elemental iron, iron because I have low iron. Low iron girlies unite. I've been taking zinc again just because it is cold and flu season, and zinc and vitamin D3 are really good for immunity, and I always increase that whenever I feel like I'm getting sick or during cold and flu season. However, I do have to be careful with zinc because it can make you break out a bit. At night, I do take magnesium biglycinate. This has been truly a life-changing supplement for me. I don't know how many milligrams I take, but I take it before bed. It helps with getting a deeper night's sleep. I sleep better when I take it. It also helps with muscle recovery from your workouts, and I don't know what else it helps for, but magnesium is good for you from my research, but obviously always talk to your doctor. I love the Array bloat and Array constipation supplements for whenever I need it. The bloat is perfect after a meal where you're feeling a bit bloated before a night out. Constipation is great for if you are not super regular with going to the bathroom. It doesn't give any sort of sense of urgency. It's non-habit forming, and I truly just love all the ingredients in Array's supplements. There's no bullshit. It's all these more holistic ways. I also love their sleep supplement. If I've been struggling to sleep or find myself waking up or am feeling still super tired in the morning, I love their sleep supplement. It has no melatonin in it. I hate taking melatonin, and it doesn't make you feel groggy in the morning. Honestly, it's a really great supplement. I have nothing bad to say about it. I love all the Array supplements. I really can't say anything bad, and this is not sponsored. I've been taking them for probably close to 2 or 3 years now. And then lastly, I love Element or Liquid IV for electrolytes. Super helpful if you've been in the sauna, if you've done a super intense sweaty workout, or if it's super hot where you are, or you're just hungover. I also love using my ice roller and my ice gua sha sticks. They're these like gua sha cryo sticks that I keep in the freezer for my space, especially when I'm hungover. Nothing feels better. And then nails. I get my nails done every 2 to 3 weeks for a manicure, pedicure every 4 weeks. I get a biogel fill because I already have the overlay. I just get like a biogel overlay with shellac and a manicure every 2 to 3 weeks. I go to Sixth Sense in Toronto. I see Lily and Jana. You can mention my name for 10% off, but I do that every 2 to 3 weeks. I don't like leaving my nails for too long because I just think it looks bad when they're so grown out, and I can't stand it, and I hate feeling embarrassed by my hands, and I always just want to feel put together. There's truly no better feeling than always having a fresh looking manicure. And then pedicure, I used to only get a pedicure like twice a year. Like I probably got one like by my birthday and then whenever I went on like a beach vacation. But then I was always so embarrassed of my feet. My feet have always dancer's feet, runner's feet, not the best. But now I started to get pedicures every 4 weeks. And 1, it makes them so much less painful. 2, I feel so much better about my feet. Like, sorry to be talking so much about feet, but there's truly no better feeling than feeling like your feet are fresh and clean. I don't know. And I just love reading a book when I'm getting a pedicure. On to hair health. Once a week, I do a detox shampoo. I love the Way one. And once a week, I do an at-home gloss treatment. I was using the Redken one from the Acidic Color Bonding Gloss line or whatever. I finished that one, so I'm excited to try the Orbe one that just came out that I have. But I do that at home. It makes your hair super shiny and glossy, and the detox shampoo helps remove any buildup of product on your scalp and on your hair. I've spoken about this so many times, but getting regular trims is the key to growing your hair longer and healthier. I go every 3 or 4 months depending on what my hair is looking at. I kind of just like gauge it off of that, but usually it's around every 3 months. I go to Alyssa Money in Toronto. She works out of Studio Colette or Colette Studio. I never remember which order it's in. I've been going to her for years since I moved down here, and she is incredible at cutting hair. I used to go biannually, like every 6 months. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I've been on a hair care journey, and my hair has truly come back from being the most thin, ratchet looking thing ever. I like destroyed my hair bleaching it years ago. I used to have blonde hair, shocker, and doing regular trims has helped my hair so much because I have a lot of hair, but it's very fine and it's very delicate, and I have curly hair, so with also putting heat on it, it's definitely not the best for it, but getting trims has helped so much. Also with that, I get a semi-permanent color or gloss every 3 to 4 months, just a little bit darker than my normal hair. This time I did a red violet undertone, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it, and I'm probably just going to keep doing that. But I do that every 3 or 4 months. The appointment with my trim is usually like 1 or 2 weeks apart. And for my color, I go to Nicole Park Hill. She's based around Casa Loma, and absolutely love her. She's an angel. In terms of styling my hair, I have found that my hair has not been healthier than when I'm just blowing it out using a regular blow dryer brush and a blow dryer. Not like a blow dry round brush like the Revlon, not like the brush that you put on your Dyson. I don't even use the brush that goes on my Shark Flex style. I honestly should have just gotten a regular Shark blow dryer. But nonetheless, my hair has never looked healthier than when I have been consistently just blowing it out straight and using a round brush, as opposed to using a blow dryer brush or waiting till it was fully dry and going over it with a flat iron. I still use a curling iron on it all the time, but I use the GHD soft curl tong, and it curls my hair so quickly. I barely have to hold my hair on the iron, and I honestly think my hair looks so glossy and shiny after I use it. So that's the tea on my hair care routine. Fave breakfasts lately that I've been having, because I feel like this fits into my weekly routine. I've been back on my protein oats grind. I love doing a 1/3 cup of oats, 2 1/3 cups of water, and then I add Nufix protein. It's my favorite plant-based protein. I also have a discount code. I'll link that in the show notes. I think it's just Lanny Be Fit, which is my old handle. And the key with oats is to add a little salt when you're cooking them. Just put a little pinch of salt in there. They will taste so much better. The OMG oats from Nut Bar with frozen blueberries and almond butter are so incredible, so good. Also obsessed with the Eggo French toaster sticks, which you guys know if you listened to last week's episode. Protein pancakes, specifically the Flourish Pancakes buttermilk flavor mix, and I add dark or semi-sweet chocolate chips into that. So good. I'll usually do that on the weekend. And then for smoothies, I really have been loving the vanilla smoothie with protein and greens from Nut Bar, or the green Latifa from Berries, and they're super easy to replicate at home. The last thing that I thought I'd throw in, because these are all things that kind of just make me feel like my best self on a weekly basis or daily basis with this one, having cute, comfy, matching PJ sets for bed, plus also having cute slippers, has truly been the highlight of my existence, and I don't know why I haven't done it sooner. I used to just sleep in like random oversized t-shirt and underwear, which is also a great feeling, but I just feel so cute and sexy in like a little matching set. I was actually looking at more from Skims, but I do love my ones from Brandy Melville, but just such a cute, fun feeling, and I always switch that out every week or like twice a week. But that is my little weekly routine. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, I would love if you could leave a 5-star rating or review on Apple Podcasts, or leave a comment on Spotify. That's how you can help support the pod, and I always love hearing what you have to say. If you have any requests ever for any episodes or topics you want to hear about, or if you have any questions or need for advice, there's always the Ask Lan form in the show notes, or my DMs are always open. I love you guys so much, and we'll chat soon. Bye, guys.